How to become more social as an introvert, or if you just want to become a social butterfly, continue watching this video. I'll be sharing a few tips that you can implement in your life to become the social butterfly so that people can gravitate towards you. The first thing that you need to improve if you want to become a highly social person is improve your confidence. Most of the time, if you think that you're not good in a social situation, or like you have hard time making friends, it comes down to lack of confidence. You probably don't have enough confidence in yourself to express your emotions and ideas to other people, and you may have a fear of rejection. You may be thinking, okay, what if I go talk to them and then they just put me down? This all stems down to a lack of confidence. And the first step I would start is by increasing your self-confidence. I'm not talking about those fake confidence that you get when you buy new shoes, or you get a new haircut, or you get a new car. Those are all fake confidence that just goes away after some time. You need to build true inner confidence, and that comes from facing your fears. The best way, from my personal experience, on how I built my inner confidence is by facing my fears, and I did something very different that not a lot of people would be willing to do. So I had social anxiety, right? So I used to be scared of social situations, especially like in a crowded place. I had to work to change that. So from a person who would get sweaty palms, or like in a social situation, who would be like that awkward guy in the corner of a room, I turned into someone that people gravitated towards whenever I walked in the room. What changed was my inner confidence, and how I built that was every day I would put myself in awkward social situations. I would force myself to go talk with 10 random strangers on bus stops, on like wherever that I was at that point in life. I would just challenge myself to go out there and talk with as many people as possible until I built the confidence to strike up conversations with anyone. And generally, a lot of people are afraid to do that. They're afraid to go talk with strangers randomly, like, because that is high risk, right? Like you're in a very public place, like if the person doesn't take you too well, he'll just have a rejection, and naturally that gives you a lot of fear, and you wouldn't want to approach them. The approach anxiety. But by putting myself in that spot every single day, I would stir up my anxiety and I would face it head on. And then over time, when I realized that the interactions that I would have was a lot better than what I imagined it to be, it would improve my confidence. And just by myself putting there, just by me facing my fears every day, it would also increase my confidence, because I realized every fear is the same. It doesn't matter if you're fear of heights, if you're fear of public speaking. Every fear is just an emotion, and when you can conquer one fear, you realize you can conquer anything. And then there's something called God mode that happens when you face your fears. So let's just say that you have a fear of public speaking, like you're so nervous, like it's your turn, you're coming up, it's your turn to go up on stage, they're about to call your name, like you're just shaking, your palms are sweating, but when they call your name, you just go up, and all of a sudden you're in the moment, all that fear is gone. You just give this amazing speech that you prepared for a long time. And how are you feeling after that? You know the feeling of being unstoppable, because you conquered something that you thought was impossible. So that feeling is called God mode, and anybody can tap into that. And I used to do few rituals and practices, you could say, to tap into that God mode. So if you want, you can give that a shot. So next time you want to uh, get yourself loose in a social situation, stay away from drinks. Instead, try these. Just go high five like 10 to 15 random people. Do push ups in a very busy place. Just go up and try to say hi to 10 people. Like, that's how you loosen up. It's like our social lubricant. You can do things like this to improve your confidence. And it's not just about confidence. The second thing I want to mention is you need to become an effective communicator. Our words matter a lot, and the way you deliver it matters as well. If you want to sound confident, you need to have the ability to articulate your ideas very clearly and express your emotions and feelings freely. So you need to become an effective communicator. You can do things like public speaking. Go join a local Toastmasters club, or go join a public speaking meetup, or some sort of a, impromptu speech club that gives you an opportunity to speak and to craft your communication skills, because that is very important when it comes to connecting with other people. When you can articulate yourself well, you will command respect, and other people will naturally want to listen to you. And let me give you an example of how your tone can dictate the conversation. So there's this concept called the up talk and down talk. Up talk is basically when you finish a sentence on a high note, and a down talk is when you finish a sentence on a low note. So it sounds like this. I'm gonna say I want ice cream in up talk. I want ice cream. I want to go for a walk. Do you see that how my tone at the end is going up? It's almost, I'm not confident in myself. It's like I'm asking a question to other person. I want ice cream. It's like, can I have ice cream? So it's like, it's not assertive. Now, I'm going to say the same sentences in down talk. I want ice cream. Do you see how different this sounds? I want to go for a walk. You sound more assertive, and this is just one simple example that I can think of how tonality plays a part in communication. So you can learn about all these things when you join a public speaking club, and they will have materials that will cover all this stuff. And I mentioned something about listening. There's a reason why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. In order to become a good social person, in order to become somebody that people can connect with easily, you have to be a great listener. A lot of people, when they get into a situation where they're talking with other people, or like where they're in a social situation, they worry about running out of things to talk about. That's because in their mind they're actually not listening. They're just thinking about what they can say. A lot of people, when you talk with them, they just constantly interrupt you in the middle of a sentence, like, yeah, me too, like, it happened to me too, like, that happened to me, blah 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 blah. They'll never let you finish your sentence. Like, when that happens, like, you normally don't want to talk with that person because they're not giving you time to listen, right? So what I do in a social situation is completely the opposite. I'm not there to talk, I'm there to listen. And when you switch the perspective like that, it becomes a lot more fun. You can let the other person talk for hours and they don't realize that, because generally, like, psychologically wise, we humans like to talk, and when you let the other person talk and you listen more, you make that person want to talk with you more. It's a simple psychological trick you can try next time. So next time you find yourself in a social situation, don't try to talk. Instead, just listen. And when you listen, you will always can keep the conversation going, because you'll be able to pick out key points in the conversation, and you'll be able to create a new thread, and the thread will keep going longer and longer. That's how you're able to connect with another person. So try that. And last tip that I want to mention is your body language. So it comes with confidence. Normally, if you're not confident, your body language will show that. Like you'll be like, slouching, you'll be freaking looking at your phone, you won't be having a strong eye contact with the other person. All this stuff matters because most of the communication happens non-verbally. It happens via the way you talk, the tonality, and the body language, the way you present yourself, how you maintain your eye contact. All that stuff plays an important role in being the social magnet that you're trying to become. So you have to practice effective body language, and the best thing you can do for your body language is practicing eye contact. Practice eye contact with everybody, with the bank tellers, with the people in the shop, with your friends. Try not to look away. Like even when you're in a public space, try to lock eye contact with somebody in public and don't look away. Instead, give them a nod, or like you can wait until they look away. So all these things, like subtle things, will create impression on others so that they see you as somebody with value and they would want to associate with you. That's how you become a social magnet. And there's a lot more tricks and tips that I can share in the next video on how to work a room, how to get to know as many person as possible. So if this is something that you'd like to know, comment below and I'll make a video about that next time. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care, my friends. Bye.